What's up?
Are we live?
Couldn't tell you. Actually, I could check.
Yes, we are, boys. Just like I said, just go when you're in. When you're in, go. We're
Right
live.
On. Right on.
Nice.
So welcome to Split the Defense. This is our first one with our little graphic here. It looks great. Thanks to producer Ted for putting all that together and running this for us before we got here. The Leafs lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets 6-5 in OT again. In the second time in like a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just gonna start at the beginning. I have so many thoughts. I don't want to be jumble brain about this. This one's
I
gonna
have
be a
one
fun
big
one.
thought.
Oh yeah. This was Sheldon Keefe's 300th NHL career regular season game tonight. So he was in tonight. Big one for Sheldon Keefe. You think the boys would pull out a win?
One to remember.
Yeah, great game. Shit the bed for their coach. Didn't do what they were supposed to do. It ended up being a game that I think we all thought it was going to be. The Leafs don't play well against their lowly opponents. Like, they don't play well against the bottom tier teams in the league. It's been proven. The stats are showing it. Everybody's talking about it. I kind of expected a loss tonight. Why don't we start with the breakdown, and then we'll go into our thoughts about it. So the first goal was Marner setting up Mo, who then sends it to the net toward Nyes. On the left side of the net, it hits a defender's skate. Marner taps it in on the open right side on a favorable bounce, makes it 1-0. Lily blows a tire, or maybe was tripped by the guy who ended up scoring the goal, Cole Sillinger. I don't know, looked a little sketchy to me. That was the second shot of the game for Columbus, and that makes it 1-1. Matthews gets a goal assisted by Marner on a nice screen. They were living dangerously in there. They made a few broken plays. They got away with it. Matthews sniped one, made it 2-1. That's the end of the first. Lincoln's mysteriously disappeared, and former Canuck Spencer Martin takes over in net. I actually did notice this for quite a while. Yeah, he had to poop or something, I guess.
He had the poops or something like that, yeah.
But Matty knocks a puck out of the air at the blue line of Columbus, and the Leafs get a good change in that ensuing play. Domi comes off the bench hot and picks the puck up, passes to Liljegren on the point, who deflects it who sends it down to Nick Robertson, who deflects it past who I thought was Lincoln's, but it was Spencer Martin. Makes it 3-1. Then, almost right away, the Leafs get caught on a change. Stretch pass through the neutral zone from Columbus. Puck on Marchenko's stick, fires from the slot, hits Sammy, and bounces up over him like one of those goals we see in Chell, Ted. Like those stupid goals that hits the goalie and it bounces up over and it goes in the net. A lot of the times goes over the net in that game. But in this game, it went in. So the next goal was William Nylander on the power play from almost the same angle that Jones got scored on last night, or the other night when we played. And it was a little bit higher. What a snipe. He found there was about 3 inches there, and he sniped it, made it 4-2. I was feeling good at this point. Shots were 23-8 halfway through the game. There's 10 minutes left in the second. I thought, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Then power play goal for Columbus. Samsonov screened. Another deflection, so 4-3. Less than 2 minutes later, and the very next shot for Columbus. Riley loses a puck battle behind the net. Kent Johnson, all alone in front, buries a backhand, 4-4. Tie game. Shots are 25-11. Willie on the ensuing power play for an instigator gets in, makes it a 5-4 Leafs with less than a minute to go in the second. And the instigator was because we had a fight, boys. That was probably my favorite part of the night, and I can't wait to talk about that. Columbus top line turned it on near the end of the game. They were flying. Fantilli, Goudreau, that line was doing so well at the end of the game, pressuring the Leafs. They could not keep up. They looked gassed. He flies in the zone, snipes past Sammy. Fantilli had 2 defenders on him. Like, honestly, like, the guy that was in front of him was so close. He shouldn't have even got the shot off. It was just, sometimes you got to give it up to the guy who scores the goal. Like, as bad as you want to say defensive breakdowns and whatever, like he had a guy 5 feet behind him, to beside him, behind him, and a guy a foot in front of him, and he still sniped it on the goalie. So give it to him there. They go 5-5, go to OT, and Johnny Gaudreau scores the OT winner off an ozone faceoff, gets the puck, backhand, throws it in the net. So, I mean, like, at least they showed up on time. They look good. They're now 4-3-3 in their last 10. But as I said at the beginning, it felt like a game the Leafs were going to lose. I said to myself at the beginning of the game, Samsonov needs to have a good game. He needs to have a good game. And I'm kind of constituting to myself as these goals are going in, well, I'm arguing with myself, what makes a good game? You know, what is it just a win? Like, clutchness, big saves in the moment? Because, like, what is it good enough, right? What's a good enough game from Samsonov? I thought maybe he might be just good enough, but he clearly was not. The Leafs, my overall thought is the Leafs need a defender. They're giving up way too many grade A chances. They even maybe need 2. And, like, some of the staple names that we see and love may not need to be around anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, maybe you're just not the guy anymore. Big shakeup.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. My opinions changed now that the Leafs don't need defenders. Like, tonight was great defense. It was great offense. Shitty friggin' goalie. That's all there is to it.
John Weichel said Samsonov was bad in the chat. John, we love that comment. We agree 100%. I think.
Yeah,
I think
couldn't
you're
agree
right on
more.
the money.
Yeah, like when you let in 4 goals, 4 goals on 11 shots is just like, you can't blame it on anyone else. Like, I have nothing, like, there's a few errors here and there for sure, but just goaltending, that was his last game. That was Samsonov's last game as a Leaf.
Let's start with goaltending here. Goal 1 was on shot 2. Goal 2 was on shot 7. Goal 3 was on shot 10. The 4th goal was on the 11th shot, and I stopped paying attention after that. That is ridiculous. That right there should have been the end of Samsonov's night, in my opinion. I agree. The Leafs need goaltending as well. But they shouldn't be giving up so many grade A chances. Like, honestly, like, there shouldn't have been that many opportunities for a lowly team like Columbus to be beating them and putting it on net against. I mean, Samsonov made some big saves tonight. Those could have been goals too. And seeing the team play the way that they do, having a shitty goalie in, you can't. This Leafs team needs good goaltending to win. Nick Richard had a tweet on Twitter, and it says, yeah, that's a bad giveaway and a grade A chance that Samsonov can't reasonably be expected to stop. But that's the thing about goaltenders playing poorly. There's zero margin for error for the rest of the team. Now, Steve Dangle chimes in on that, and he says, almost every goal is some forward or defender's fault. Make a save. We just need saves. We're done with excuses. He is so bad that Mike Stevens posted this on Twitter. Veska Toskala's worst year as a Leaf was 2009, 2010, brutal, when he put up an 880 save percentage. League average was 909 that year. Ilya Samsonov is currently an 871 save percentage in a year when league average is 903. That's the territory he's in right now. He's in Vesa Toskala territory. Now, he had 2 big stops in OT. I'll give him that. Like, there was a couple of times where it could have ended even earlier, but that's not a guy you can play with going forward.
No, like, I don't even care about his 2 saves in OT. Like, it should have been over way before that. And basically the only reason they're in OT is because of him. So, I mean, it's just like, even the nice saves that he makes don't look great. Like, he's either like lunging at the puck or whatever it is that he does. Like, it's hard to even just watch him. I would close my eyes if I didn't want to watch the actual game. But he's definitely done. I understand that, like, maybe there was some grade A chances, but when your team lets like less than 15 shots in 2 periods, like, you need to be winning that game. You shouldn't have even close to 4 goals against. 2 is a bad night. You know, like, that's still a bad save percentage, right? So, go ahead.
We got a Gorgeous Hammer. We got some great comments here. Gorgeous Hammer saying they played well defensively until about the 4th goal, and then they just kind of got deflated and stopped playing. You guys agree with that?
How do you play in front of a goalie like you just know that you're in a losing battle there. So like totally agree. I don't blame anyone on the team other than Samsonov. I just you're at a point now, like for the first few times, it's like, yeah, battle for your guy, battle for your guy. But we're at a point now where it's just like, no, you don't waste your energy on this guy. Like you can tell right from the first period that he doesn't have it. He hasn't forever. So like, why would you try now? So like, I give them props for giving it all they could to push it to overtime because, like, yeah, that was a losing battle for sure.
And John Henderson says the defense is what we have outside of Klingberg. He said there are
Yeah.
no defense available other than. So he says no defenseman. Yeah. So he says yeah. He says no available defenseman on IR. And then but then yeah, and then the obvious thing. It's obvious that the defense is not good.
No, they need a defender. Like they can't. They need two defenders. They need guys that can play different. Maybe they even need a third line center. They need a shake up. Then this team isn't working out. Like Max Domi, I love Bertuzzi, I love, but it wasn't enough. We thought maybe those were big superstar. That just wasn't enough. It's not been enough. It hasn't been enough. Simple as that. This team needs better overall structure and team defense because you can't. Very rarely have a night where they're not giving up 11, 12 plus high danger chances. Like if you have bad goalies in that, then you need to be better defensively. Otherwise, yeah, like we need a goalie in this. Otherwise, it's over. It's just over. If you want this team to work, Brad Tree Living, you need a goalie because this team playing this style of hockey does not work. You squeak out points. You got another point tonight because you have superstars like Austin Matthews. Let's go into Austin Matthews next. Where's my stats on him here? So this is incredible. Aaron Portzline tweets this. Leafs Austin Matthews, with his first period goal tonight, has now scored at least one goal in 9 consecutive regular season games against Columbus Blue Jackets. His previous 8 games, two goals, 1 assist, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 goal, 2 assists, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 goal, and then tonight. Austin Matthews this month has scored 15 goals. That's the second highest in league history, well, since 1999-2000. So in the cap era, that's the second highest amount of goals scored in a month. He became the 4th player in Maple Leafs history with a 15-goal month, joining Rick Vive, Frank Mahovlich, and Babe Dye. Those are the only people who've done it. Austin Matthews is one of the reasons this team gets to overtime in the first place. But this team playing this style of hockey, unless you have better defenders, bigger, rangier, longer guys who can play better in their own zone and break this shit up before it happens, then it's not going to work. Morgan Riley on that pinch on that goal, that was weak. It wasn't good. Nobody else was around. Bad change. Why is Kent Johnson all alone in front? Bad structure. Bad. I just don't like it. And if you have a guy like Austin Matthews and you have William Nylander, who's also got 1 goal, 1 assist tonight, and he's got 33 games this season. He's got points. Those guys are going to lead you and get you these OT points, but you're not going to get anywhere unless you get better personnel in other places. You can't just rely on this core 4. You can rely on them to score points. They're fun games, but you can't rely on them to win unless they have a top-tier goalie. And the crazy thing is like Ilya Samsonov was a top-tier goalie last year. Jack Campbell was top-tier goalie when he was here. They were good. They were very good. Like 919 save percentage, 910 save percentage for Jack Campbell. Like, they were good. That's what they need. If they don't get that from a goaltender, this team, they cannot win.
I like the Leafs were pretty good defensively tonight. Like they only let 5 high danger chances. You know, they also let 6 goals in total if you count OT. Like those numbers just don't add up. Like we had 11 high danger chances. Like I feel like I was pretty happy with the other than Liljegren's blown tire. That's a pretty bad play, but other than that though, I was pretty happy in total. Like Benoit coming up big with some big hits, playing really well with McCabe on the second line. Like the twos pairing is what we'll call it, because 2 playing with 22 on the second pairing. So I mean, twos. Like it was like written in the sand here that this was the lineup or the pairing to go for. But yeah, I was pretty happy. Like I don't know, like forward wise, I definitely think that there's still room on the third line to improve. Like this is a definitely a like always has been a top heavy team, you know. And although that Robertson got a goal tonight, and they are looking like the last two games they haven't looked bad. Like I'll give them that. But I saw Keefe actually a comment about that third line that like you could easily read his lips was he said do less. And I thought that was like, I guarantee he was talking to Domi, because like he's a guy that just makes like maybe one too many plays, one too many dekes, and he needs to keep it simple a little bit, especially in his own zone. Like he had a pretty bad turnover, which they ended up like it didn't turn into anything, but yeah,
Do
like
less.
there's definitely room on that third line, whether it's like this improving the center and Domi goes to the wing, or you just get him a way better third line like left winger. But I think that's like deadline time when we're like getting greedy. Same with the defenseman. Like I feel like it would be greedy to get one right now when you just need a goalie so bad. Like I know it's not great,
It's
but
true,
like
they
what's
need
Jake
goaltending, but
Allen
they
up
need
to?
good goaltending. Yeah, true. Something
I'll
like
take
that.
average.
It's hard for you to argue me stats right now about high danger chances for and against when if you look at that third line, they were 67% for expected goals for tonight. And their goals for, they were 50%. They let one in, they scored one.
Yeah, there were 68 total as
I
a
mean,
team. That's what I was saying. Like we had 11 chances,
that's
they
because
only had 5, you know, total.
I'm yeah, and you
Like
know,
it
5 of
was
those high
great.
danger chances came from the third line. So if you want to talk about that, though I don't think the third line's the problem. I think the problem is not even just a single player. It's 2 players. It's 4 players. It's the team structure.
It's
It
one
comes
player.
down to, it comes down to you know what they need. That's the thing. You shouldn't have to rely on that kind of amazing goaltending, right?
It's not
Like
amazing though.
even
Like we
Martin
just can't have
Jones is still
700s.
shaky with Martin Jones. No, absolutely. Samsonov's unplayable. That conversation's
Yeah.
over. Samsonov's done.
Junk.
He's not going to be back. Do you think that
Garbage.
the Leafs are going to be able to win a cup with Joseph Woll, who potentially might not even be fully healthy, and Martin Jones? Like, I just don't think
No.
it's there. I don't think it's going to
No,
happen. I
but
think
that's
they
what
need
I'm
a
saying.
better, bigger goaltender than that. And
Yeah.
like one of those
No
guys has
defense.
to go out of the way. And like defense needs to come in. And if I don't know like what goalie is there out there right now that you're going to go get. It's kind of what I'm headed for. Like, I don't know, was one guy going to fix it, or do you need a couple guys? Do you need a coaching change from Sheldon Keefe? Does he need to be gone to change
No.
everything in this room and change the whole way the team plays? Because this isn't working.
I mean, like I'm not down there. Like I feel like we're like at one big glaring problem at the moment. And like yeah, I'll have to do some digging on what goalies, but like I know that Jake Allen's available, and I hate making a trade with the Habs, but like he is a pretty reliable, decent goalie. Like I don't know, someone in the comments tell me if I'm wrong, but like I feel like most years he has just pretty reliable, steady numbers. And like that's all this team really needs at the moment to be good. And then maybe it's not Jake Allen, but just like a average goalie, not above
I
average.
don't know. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I'm with Webby on this that they need good, like great goaltending, not just someone to fit in.
Yeah.
Because they have guys that can fit in and do a job. They need someone to do a stellar job.
The problem is that there's no great goaltending like out there at all.
And
Like
that's
this is
my
a
point.
really down year on goaltending. So like you just have to aim for average. Like 903 is the average right now. I'll take that, and this
So,
team
no,
will
then
win at
and
903.
I don't know if they're going to. That's the thing. I don't have full confidence that they're going to get anywhere past where they got last year with the goaltending that they have. They need better, like they need a better defensive structure all around. These players can do it. They just need to find the way to do it. I don't think these players are bad. I think maybe there could be a couple of shakeups. Maybe the third line's not ideal. The third line is not the problem, though. It's not the problem. The problem is when they get into their own zone, they can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, and they keep getting scored on because they don't have good goaltending. So if they get decent goaltending, then you're still not going to be able to get out of your zone. They still can't do it. They still don't have those types of defenders. I mean, Simon Benoit, I just want to just change the subject a little bit tonight. My favorite part of the absolute favorite part of the night was Benoit beating Fantilli down the ice for an icing. and then chirping him the whole way back up the ice. He's like, yeah, I got you, kid. Yeah, nice try. Try and play with the big boys here. You know, Simon Benoit I am, and your third overall pick, Adam Finn. He's just getting them all riled up. And because of that, Goon Branson comes in, causes a fight on the next face-off. That was absolutely my favorite part of the whole entire game. I was like, oh, Simon Benoit, you have a spot in my heart. You are a great man to stick around this team. I like that.
Yeah, I'm proud to be a day one Simon. I can't say his name. Simon Benoit. Simon. I'm a day oneer. Like he disappointed me in training camp, and I like kind of had to eat my words for a little bit there. But I've always loved his style of play, and he's just kind of, I think, learning what the coaches want from a player, and he's just doing more and more and more of it. So yeah, I love that from him. Fantilli, like that guy's starting to develop a bad rap around the league. Officials seem to hate him. It's like he's getting calls. Like he had the weird unsportsmanlike for telling a ref he didn't cause a penalty, and then he also last game had like a weird high stick that wasn't. Then an unsportsmanlike for complaining. Now there's this thing. And then it looked bad, I think, too, that Granson had to come in because like I understand you don't want Fantilli like mixing it up, but like did someone have to stick up for him in that situation? Like just like handle it yourself a little bit. Like, you know, a cross check is all you needed to do. But yeah, I don't know. I hope this doesn't become his reputation going forward because I love how he plays and like as a rookie, he's pretty like other than Bedard, he's kind of the next one, right? Like I feel like people are there's a couple just pulling away from the pack and he looks great. Like he had a really nice goal tonight. But yeah, Benoit though, like I was loving everything I was seeing from him. He was trying to get as many hits as possible. Actually, and McCabe, that whole line. That was like the banger line.
So Mark Giordano was back tonight.
Gio.
He didn't play a whole ton. He played around 15 minutes, I think he ended up finishing with.
Perfect.
What were your overall thoughts on him? I thought it was steady. Would you agree?
In whole, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's never been much other than that for us. Like he's basically just been a steady defenseman. He made a few plays that I didn't love, but for being your first game back, that's just to be expected, you know, like, but yeah, love having him back. I think I'm still not sold that like, he's going to be playing every game going forward. Like we'll probably, now that Lageson's like a pretty decent defenseman, I would assume that he rotates through a bit and then we can really use him come playoff. Cause like he just is always willing to like lay everything on the line. He'll even fight. He'll do it all, like block every shot, even with his face if he needs to. So I saw that like a little bit rusty, but all the same Gio that we were used to before.
Yeah. It was just Gio's not a big flashy player anymore, but it was nice to just have Papa Gio back doing Papa Gio things. We know what to expect from him. And like he said, he made a couple of poor plays, but nothing that really stood out to me anyways. I thought he looked fine for not playing for 4 weeks and probably still having a pretty muffed finger. Right?
Yeah,
You'd think
definitely.
it's got to not be 100%. It's still like, so I mean, he did well. It was nice to see Gio back, but I still really think we need a defenseman. Obviously, you're going to agree with keeping Benoit in the lineup over playing Timmins tonight. Coaching decision from Sheldon Keefe, putting Jake McCabe on his offside.
Yeah, I am not going to argue at all. Obviously, I quite dislike Timmins' play. So, I mean, I was kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if also Lagesson and Benoit swap out a bit, you know? So, I'm not sure we're always going to see that, but I did like that. And that pairing of Benoit and McCabe on his offside got a lot of tough minutes. Like they played with Matthews' line for the majority of the night. So, yeah, I think that I definitely like that decision from Coach Keefe.
Gorgeous Hammer says 714 save percentage, only 21 shots against, only 5 high danger, 17 blocked shots. It says, let me repeat, 17 blocked shots. This is entirely on the goalie. That's Gorgeous Hammer.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, we hashed that out in the beginning, and yeah,
I agree. I think you're right. Yeah, it's
We
Like
definitely need a goalie, but
7-14.
the thing is, I don't know if there's a goalie that's good enough. Even at
Ugly
902, I
number.
don't know if there's a goalie that's good enough to win this team enough games to
Well,
get
they
to
would
the
have won
promised
tonight.
land this year. They need, honestly, Joseph Wool needs to come back. He needs to be 100% healthy, and he needs to play as well as he was. And then the Leafs, with this team, have a chance. And maybe they can look at shaking the forward lines up and getting a little tougher to play against. Like, it's not that these players aren't tough to play against. It's just that maybe kill the play a little bit more. Maybe give them more options to put. Like, I don't know if your optimal lineup is Matthew Nyes in the top 6 right now. He's a great player, but I don't know if the optimal lineup is that. Maybe you need somebody a little grittier and not at every shift, but sometimes when the game's locked down. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of other shakeup besides a defenseman that can be made. But in my mind, the whole team just needs to play better. The whole team needs to play better in front of this goaltender. It doesn't matter who's in net. If they're going to continue to play the way that they played tonight, giving up the chances that they gave up. I don't know how there's only 5 high danger chances tracked there, because like that must have been every single one I saw, and I didn't miss a single one, and it felt like a lot, because I feel like there's a lot of nights I'm like, where I didn't see that many. But tonight, like, I was looking at it like, oh my God, again. Oh, again and again. And it's to Columbus. That's the worst part. If you're playing like one of the top tier teams in the league and you're giving up high danger chances, it's understood. They're a top tier team in the league. You can't be giving up chances through the neutral zone like that to Columbus. It's giving them just free shots, free walks into your zone. Whether they end up turning into high danger chances or shots on goal in the end, you cannot let them just walk in like that. And that comes down to a team style of play, and it could be even a personnel style of play. So maybe they need new defenders, maybe they need new coaches. I don't know, but something's got to change. Do you have anything else to hit here, CP?
Not really. Like a lot of the things I think a lot of those points, like the places you want improvement, I think I will agree when it comes to trade deadline time. You know, like there's always room for improvement. Just like when we added Ryan O'Reilly last year, like in December, I wasn't necessarily clamoring for that to be an addition, but when it came down to trade deadline time, it's like, yes, let's improve that. We need a different style of player there. So yeah, I think there are some adjustments to be made down the road, but the forward lines, like the top two, I Bunting and or sorry Bunting. I'm thinking about tomorrow's game, but Bertuzzi and Nyes, I think I've loved more and more there. Like I think the past few games they've kind of been playing with more of a grittier style, and so I'm definitely not going to vouch for taking them out right now. But if it comes down to the end where Nyes goes to the third line because we get some other left winger, then I'll be all for that down the road for sure.
Well,
But yeah,
tonight, Austin Matthews' line had 2 goals for, no goals against, 5-on-5. Max Domi, Kelly Yarncroke's line, they had 1-1. And Bertuzzi, Tavares, Nylander, they didn't have a goal 5-on-5. They all had 1 against, but not a goal for. So I mean, like we always talk about, penalty kills pretty good. Obviously, wasn't great tonight. 3 goals scored. There were 6 goals scored, so obviously they scored 3 on the power play. And you know, in that, you got to think there's got to be something that could be better. And I'm not talking for when they need a goal. I'm not talking the majority of the time. I'm talking about maybe just a couple of guys or a guy, a Ryan O'Reilly type, like you just said, that you could throw on situationally. You know, not all the time, but when like you need to shut things down a little more. You need you need a guy who's a little tougher to get off the puck, a little stronger on the forecheck, better, like smarter to make better plays out there. Whatever it is, they just may need that one individual guy that they can throw up with these guys in those certain situations, so they're not getting scored on.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my final thought on that.
We got to take from John Henderson, too. He says Leafs need to put Timmins and Sammy on waivers. He says if they're claimed, we get cap relief. Leafs need one more top 4 defender who must be right-hander. And he says it's time to bring in a Marley for the bottom 6. What do you think
interesting
about that?
thought there.
Kiefer Bellows looks really good.
Yeah, that was actually the name that popped into my head too. So in that case, like the problem is that Kiefer Bellows is kind of like Nick Robertson, like where I not necessarily want him on the fourth line. So is this a Robertson for Bellows swap here? But yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
give him a shot. Robertson
Yeah,
can just go right back down. Like, I mean, whatever.
the rest of
Give him a
that
shot. See, the thing is, I don't think Bellows has an NHL contract, just an AHL.
he doesn't
contract.
yet. No, yeah,
No.
you're right. The rest of that
So
comment though, I agree 100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
top
Timmins on
four,
waivers.
right shot.
Sammy on waivers.
Timmins, get rid of him. I don't care. Like, yeah, I couldn't care
I
less
think
for
you
either
could
of
put
those. So
you could put Timmins on waivers. I think he clears, and I think that'd be
they're
fine.
both
You could
gonna
send him
clear.
down. He could play on the Marlies, and that just may be his spot for this year. Try again next year. I don't know. Maybe he's there in a pinch, injury insurance. You've got him, and I don't think anybody's gonna claim him at 1.1 this year and next. Maybe if it was just this year, but I don't think they're gonna want to take the chance to pay a guy 1.1 next year as well. So I don't know if that happens. With Samsonov though, even if you drop him down, like if you try and waive him, nobody's claiming him. I don't know if anybody's gonna claim him at this
They'd be
point.
doing us a favor.
I think, yeah. Why would you claim him when he's really bad this year? Like I can just sign him in the offseason if I want a reclamation project for absolutely nothing. He's a UFA. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be dealing with the $3.5 million cap hit right now. I'll sign him next year at $850K. See if he can find his game on my team. I just don't see it happening. He's not like he's playing well enough to warrant that. Not like if he dropped. Like I don't think Martin Jones would pass through waivers another time. I think that's going to be very tough when Joe Wolf comes back, and they're going to have some decisions to make there.
Well, it's an easy decision. Like, Martin
would
Jones
you-
isn't
yeah.
going anywhere.
No, he can't.
Yeah,
Can't.
Timmins
It's
though,
really
I'm
gonna
actually
have to
thinking
trade.
about it. Someone might take Timmins because it's a completely variable contract. So, like, I could see a richer team taking that, like the Rangers or, Canadians or someone that like just doesn't care. He's not going to get claimed by Arizona, that's for sure. But maybe another team. I don't know.
I think most teams that I think that there's not a lot of teams that would take him and put him in their farm system either. Especially like I just don't think that they would do it. Not at 1.1. There's too many other guys that do what he does or as well as he does it for 900K that they could bring up and save 200K. They still have to pay this guy the money, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
these
why I
guys
said
are
the
still
richer
cheap.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are still rich. They're rich, but they're still cheap. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to pay them, right? They may be rich and be able to afford it, but like even like New York Rangers, they have Eric Gustafson. It's better, and he's like an odd man out some nights. You know what I mean? Like Timmins, I just don't know if he's going to go anywhere. He might.
But if Gustafson
I
got
just can't see it
injured
happening.
the night that they
I
try
think they
and
still
pass
have
him through
probably a-
waivers, then that would maybe be the time he'd get waived.
I think the
but
Rangers probably still have a better defenseman to bring up besides Connor Timmins, and he
Yeah.
can still go down. I just don't think there's a spot for him. And
I
he's
just-
going to pay 1.1
I don't
million
care,
dollars
though.
for a defenseman in the AHL. I just don't see it happening.
I love these comments from John Henderson and everyone in the chat so far. Gorgeous Hammer and John Whitesell at the start. John Henderson says Timmins claimed by Dubas in Pittsburgh.
See, he told you he was getting claimed
Yeah,
because that's
yeah,
where he's
yeah, I
going.
think
so
so.
that's
You
a
think
very
so?
good point.
Right?
John Henderson, you're a genius. We'll have you on
Nailed
the
it.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might
Smart man.
consult.
Next
we might have to
guest.
consult.
Smart man. All right. I think that's enough for me here. Looking ahead, we got Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow night. They are 19-13-4 on the season, third in the Metro currently. Leafs are 6-4-0 in their last 10 against the Hurricanes. So it's been an even matchup. Could go either way. I'm sure the Leafs will probably be favored on the money line tomorrow night. But if they're not, then you can bet I will be betting the Maple Leafs because I love getting plus money when they're going to win. The return of Michael Bunting. So that'll be interesting to talk about tomorrow night when we're back after the Leafs game on Split the Defense here on our YouTube channel. Thanks everybody for watching live and commenting. We appreciate all that. I'm stoked to see Michael Bunting tomorrow night, aren't you, CP? I miss that guy. I wish they could have kept him. Not at
Yeah.
that money, but
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't worth that, but I'm glad that he seems to be doing a bit better. He's been up and down that lineup, not unlike, I guess, his times here with Toronto, but
Add him
yeah,
to that list of players that you
Yeah.
wish you never let go.
I'm not sure he's on the all-star lineup of guys we've let go.
Like Hyman?
but
yeah,
like
Zach Hyman.
that's the top
Yeah.
liner right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the
but
man.
he's definitely on maybe the bench. Like maybe he's the first sub in. He's up in the bleachers watching, but yeah, we valued him.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, good show, boys. Thanks for joining me here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And we will see you tomorrow night after the Leafs play the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, thanks again for listening to Split the Defense. Follow us on socials. Remember to like the video if you're watching and you haven't liked it yet. Please like it, subscribe. We're back after every single Leafs game. For now, peace.
Peace.
You've been listening to
Split the Defense.
Leafs Post-Game Edition. Hosted by Jordan Webster, Craig Pearce, and producer Ted Evans.
Split the Defense.
Is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004. Serving the Kingston and surrounding areas.